Ryo, where are you going? You haven't listened to the Shenmue AM2 podcast yet.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shenmue AM2 podcast. We're your hosts, Andrew.
And Matt.
And man, is it a good time to be a Shenmue fan.
We're at Shenmue Day +1.
Shenmue Day +1. Yeah, it's wow. August 21st was Shenmue Day. Mm-hmm. We got a trailer for 3. We got the release of 1 and 2 HD. Is it weird that it's not called HD? It's just called Shenmue 1 and 2.
Apparently some journalists who had correspondence with Sega referred to it as Shenmue HD Collection, and Sega would always write them back and say, this is not an HD collection, this is Shenmue 1 and 2.
Wow.
So, I don't know if that, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a sign that there's still room for an even more upgraded release later.
Shenmue Kiwami,
or that a complete remake from the ground up.
Saga's done it with Yakuza.
Man, I hope this sells enough for that.
There's just too much Shenmue news, and I don't want to sound complainy, like I'm in complainy pants over here or anything, but it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah. I've actually seen, speaking of copies selling, I've seen a lot of people say they went to go get it and their store had 1 copy or 3 copies or no copies. So apparently the production run is very small, which makes me sad because it could sell more probably than what it's gonna.
I think Saga will reprint.
Let's hope so.
I think there's going to be demand for it. And they're listening now, which is Adam Korlick released a video either today's August 22nd. It was either earlier today or yesterday about how we made Saga do a complete 180 on this.
Yeah.
How they were like, no, and now they're like, hey, money. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. We are going to do our first impressions of Shenmue 1 and 2 in this episode. That'll be later. There's a couple little things we want to talk about first. One is the podcast itself. We are 2 years in now, a little over 2 years, and we've seen it pick up quite a bit lately. Matt thought this would happen because he had his Twin Peaks podcast and there was nothing, and then Twin Peaks Season 3, and you saw a big spike.
Yeah.
We're getting
a quadruple in numbers.
We're not getting that, but I guess on a monthly basis we might be, because before the month of July started, we were at about 20,000 views / downloads from YouTube and iTunes. We had over 3,000 in the month of July alone, and over 3,000, or we're about to hit 3,000 in August, and we still get
another
a third
week
of the month left.
Yeah.
So we just want to thank everyone. It's picking up, and we're getting more comments on YouTube.
Maybe someday we'll be eligible to be influencers, and Sega will send us on a trip to Japan to do a promo video on Shenmue 3. Huh? Yeah. Dreaming.
Sega Europe, we know you know about us. Also, in our subscribers on YouTube, in a week we saw about a 10% growth. We're over 300 now.
Not bad.
Which is awesome. My wife's birthday is August 3rd. I promised her I would get up and make us a nice breakfast before we went to work. And I got up to a message from Matisse Boddicker, huge Shenmue fan. He's doing the tech stuff for the dojo. Hey, bud, not sure if you know yet, Shenmue 1 and 2 limited edition, Japan only, PS4 thing happening. And I'm like, what? So that happened. Coming out November 22nd, I think, is the Japanese launch date.
Now, is that just for the special edition, or any edition in Japan only comes out in November?
I think any edition.
That sucks for them.
Yeah, but region free, so
yeah, that's true.
And It literally would be the packaging that would not be in Japanese because you can put whatever language you want in the game. So, but it looks like it has some really beautiful box art. It reminds me of the Shenmue US box art.
Pink.
Yep, and it comes with the 2 CD soundtrack set, which I think this is the first time officially any Shenmue 2 soundtrack has been put on a disc.
Cool.
Officially, which is really cool. Matt has not purchased it yet or pre-ordered it.
No.
You think you're going to?
I don't think so. I mean, it's cool and all, but I should probably be somewhat responsible, shouldn't I? I don't know.
We'll get to responsibility in a minute when we talk about how many copies of this thing we've bought and intend to buy. I bought 2. My intent is to keep one sealed and then have one to mess around with. My thing is...
Sounds like you're gonna molest the game.
The Shenmue AM2 podcast does not endorse molesting games. Or anything. Molestation is bad. Don't molest anything.
Don't mess around with things.
Yeah. The game is region free, but the CDs are not region free, are they?
I think they are. Yeah, they are. Because I have Japanese video game soundtracks over there, and they work fine.
Do they? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. So that is happening. Let's just talk about it now. I've ordered 2 of those. I bought 2 PlayStation 4 versions. I bought 2 Xbox One's versions, each to have one sealed. The PlayStation 1 I'm going to use. The Xbox One, I don't even own an Xbox One, but I opened it just so I could see the poster and stuff, and I may lend that to someone to play to eventually be on the podcast or something.
But you also have an unopened version for Xbox and PS4. And then you've got your digital PS4.
And then I got the digital PS4 one.
Did you have a digital PC?
No, not yet. You do, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you have a...
Physical PS4 and digital PS4.
And your physical PS4, has that shown up yet from Amazon?
Nope.
Tisk tisk Amazon, up your game.
Yeah.
Bezos? You get that Bezos money. KickStarter. A Gamer's Journey. The Definitive History of Shenmue. We are recording this at 5:41 Atlantic Standard Time on August 22nd. It is ending in about 15 hours from now, I think.
Usually Kickstarters get a big push at the end, too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the Kickstarter. Oh, they surpassed 50,000. When I looked right before I went and I picked my wife and Matt up from work today. I had the day off. It was at $49,950. And they were at like 955 backers. So 16 hours to go. I would love to see it hit 1,000 backers. And it's already surpassed 50,000. So maybe hit 55,000. I don't know.
There was no stretch goal for 50, was there?
There wasn't any stretch goal past 35.
Wow. So, what are they going to do with all that extra money? Just enjoy it, I guess, guys.
Yeah. I'm just so pumped for this. Matt and I each individually supported it, and then we supported it as the podcast as well. So we get to have a little 3-minute video. I don't know what we're going to do for it.
Some sort of skit, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have an awesome idea for a skit, but I don't know if it would work for that. It would be better as, I think, a video episode for our YouTube. But more Dance Dance Revolution Matt stuff is going to be coming.
Well, speaking of... Well, we used PSVR in that video, the Dance Dance Revolution. Have you tried the new HD one in your PSVR helmet?
Not yet.
I might do it tonight. But the way the skybox flies by might make me sick. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, the sky looks exponentially better. I just hope that it does really whip when you look up.
I don't remember it doing that.
It did not do that in the past. We'll get that.
Yeah, we'll get
that
into
in our impressions. So August 20th, the day before this came out, I left work. Picked up my wife, came home. My idea was, I'll have a nap, get up, It came out at 1 a.m. our time. I tried changing where my time to Athens, Greece on my PlayStation. It didn't work. So, get home though after work, and I had I never get migraines, and I had a pretty bad migraine. And I passed out in my bed, out like a light. Then I woke up for a minute because I didn't have my sleep apnea CPAP mask on. I was like, oh, set an alarm on the phone. So I set an alarm on the phone. I got up and I played it at 1 a.m. for exactly an hour. And it was glorious. It was great. I went back to bed and got up at 5 a.m. because of the Gamescom conference announcement that was going to be at 6 a.m. and I had to make shake and bake chicken before that. The shake and bake chicken was so I could have something for lunch and my wife could have some crispy chicken to put in a salad. Just time waste because I fell asleep the night before. 5 a.m. shake and bake chicken. It's a great smell to wake up to. So I watched the announcement, which we'll dissect that trailer here momentarily, and then actually let's do the trailer now because I really want to talk about the rest of my day because two really awesome things happened to me. One that Matt knows about, one that Matt doesn't. So we'll get to that.
Okay.
So this is where Matt and I are viewing the trailer.
Shenmue 3 release date trailer.
Okay, here's my thing. She's in the cave.
Yeah.
But she's wearing the different outfit.
Yeah.
So I think they've come and gone back, maybe. And very faintly in the background, you can see the thing that you put the mirror into. Mm-hmm. And it does not appear that the mirror's in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we've seen any promo material with her wearing the exact outfit she wore in Shenmue 2. She had a similar outfit, except the sleeves were different.
Yeah. She's wearing the same colors, but
I'm thinking they're just gonna open this game and she's gonna inexplicably have a different outfit.
Well, you know why she has a different outfit. I mean, you don't want to say it.
Oh. So her face. What do you think of her face, Shenhua?
I don't think it's a final face. It doesn't look bad to me.
It's getting better.
And the voice doesn't sound bad. Not that I understand Japanese, but
yeah.
It's all right. And then we're swooping in towards the view of the boat. There's ducks in the water in front of that boat.
Yeah. The frame rate is a little bit choppy.
Frame rate is choppy, but that just 100% confirmed duck race. I'm calling it now. That's completely not true.
Some nice NPCs coming off the boat with him.
Yes. And then we get to him learning some sort of, I'm guessing learning, and you can see Ren in the background.
I don't think he's learning because there's people standing around watching. There's Ren in the background, and there's two other guys. I think he's having a fight, like a test, to see if he can meet the big boss, who may appear later in this trailer.
Oh,
it's in the same spot. I don't know if this...
Okay.
Basically, Londe shows up later.
I think I just had something click in my brain here. Also, in the background, there's purple walls with green dragons on them, and possibly gold. Mm-hmm.
So I don't love how harsh the lighting is on this character. Like, all the edges of his face are, like, blown out white.
Go back for a split sec here. There is... when the guy's doing in the blue coat with the white hair is doing these moves in front of Rio. Go forward a little bit. Stop. There's two other people in the background. I'm wondering...
Just trying to get a good view of them.
I'm wondering if one of them is Baihu. The guy with the white hair.
Oh, yeah. It could be. Yeah. The guy on the right.
The guy, yeah. I'm thinking that could be Baihu. And then there's a guy...
Donui's little brother.
Yeah, there's an obese man with an unbuttoned orange shirt and some blue slacks.
Yeah.
Nice looking, very nice, posh looking leather furniture. Dragons all over the walls. It looks like a nice... very nice oriental rug. Mm-hmm. I don't know, this place just gives me posh vibes. Then they're back in the cave.
They got some torches. Cave looks good.
Yeah, nice night sky.
Beautiful
Some
night
sort
sky.
of tower.
Yeah.
And then the music hits, and we have some close-ups of the massive carvings in the cave. When the music hit, this really got me.
Purple wind. Its wings will create a purple wind. I wonder what the significance of the color purple is, if anything.
Prince showing up.
Its wings will create a purple wind.
But that's
from whence a purple rain will fall.
Yeah, and then we're back in that same room, and Lon D is there. Oh, Lon D.
And he looks great.
The face is a little off for me.
Face is a little softer than
but
we're used to.
The character model looks fantastic. The robe,
yeah,
I'm loving it.
And I'd say he does look the best. Just like the original game, he's got the best character model so far.
Although the red character model in the background looks really, really nice as well.
Yeah. So why are Rio and Londi face to face, and why is Rio not just like charging at him like a madman there? I've seen people speculate maybe there's going to be an uneasy alliance, and I can't see that. I can't see Rio working with Londi ever. No, under any circumstances. What do you think?
It doesn't look like they're going to tear each other apart.
I know, it's so confusing. All I can think is maybe it's a dream. Don't know.
And then it ends with Shenhua, the petals falling, Shenmue 3.
The new font, which I don't hate. It's alright.
August 27th, 2019.
It's gonna be pushed. It's not hidden that. 2020.
Matt, it's already been pushed back over a year and a half. After like a year and a half.
It's going again.
No, it's not. Let's hold on. While we're here, give me a pen. Give me a pen. Let's make a bet on this. I have my pen right
So I think August 27th, 2019, that's a specific release date. I think that's like the furthest out release date we have for any games right now. Like, confirmed release date. I can't think of another game that has set the release date, quote unquote, in stone that is that far out. There's release dates known for things in March, but beyond that, I don't think we know any release dates. It's just like quarters. Q1, Q2, Q3.
I just do want to share something here about the...
You're gonna share your cruel prank on me?
Oh yeah, I did something very mean. So my wife and I was driving my wife to work, and I had got her to message Matt, said, "Did you watch the trailer yet?" And Matt replied, "Oh, it's out? No, I haven't." And I told her to send Matt a message that, "Do you even like Shenmue, bro?" He said, "Ha ha ha, I was tired. I only just got up." And I put, "Played Remake yet?" Or she did. And he said, "What? Resident Evil?" And I got her to write, "Do you even T-Virus, bro?" Matt replied, "Ha ha." And I said, got her to type, "Specific release date already announced." And Matt said, "Nice, when is it?" And I told my wife, I'm like, "Tell him the first Tuesday in January of 2019. So that happened to be January 1st. I'm like, that doesn't sound legit.
Yeah, that sounds
so
fake.
Make it the second Tuesday. So she sent him a thing that says, spoiler, January 8th, 2019. And when she wrote it, she's like, "There's no way he's going to think this is real." And then she looked at him, she goes, "Oh." And Matt replied, "Wow, nice." And then she typed JK August 27th, 2019. And Matt wrote back, "You bastard."
I expected my friend to not cruelly trick me like that.
And you think that would have given me bad luck for the rest of the day? The answer to that is no. I had an awesome August 21st.
Karma doesn't exist. So this is a great trailer. It's pretty fun, pretty hype. Just where's the gameplay?
Yeah.
Like I said before, the last time we got a trailer, just give us 3 seconds of somebody controlling Rio and him walking along a street. That's all we want.
My other concern is we had E3's gone by.
Mm-hmm.
GamesCom is done. Well, GamesCom is going on, but we're not getting any more Shenmue during GamesCom.
Yeah.
Where's the next opportunity to show us something?
Paris Games Week next year.
Is it Paris Games Week or Tokyo Game Show?
Maybe Tokyo Game Show, I don't know.
Game Awards? When's that?
I think it's in December or November. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's probably December. But yeah, I have no idea when the next thing will come. I have a feeling it won't be for quite a while, though.
Yeah, I don't think they'll put it out in the form of a KickStarter update.
No.
I don't think that's a thing or something they would do. Just while we're here, again, recording this on August 22nd, August 31st, no more Slacker Backer after that, so if you want physical rewards, get them in. We're going to try to get this podcast out tonight. So if you want those, get that in. Alright, I think it's the moment everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah.
Shenmue 1 and 2.
It came out.
We played it. I as I mentioned earlier, I played it at 1 a.m. and then got up and played a bit more before I drove my wife to work. And then Matt played some. You would have started it while I was out. Mm-hmm. I had my CPAP machine died. I had to have that warranted. So my original plan was, after I dropped her off, I grabbed breakfast, dropped off. I thought it was going to take longer to do the warranty work on my CPAP machine, and then I would just go to EB Games. And I got done. It was like 25 to 9, and they don't open till 10. I was like, well, I'll see if Matt wants to come to EB with me. So I sent him a message. He's like, yep. So I went home and I played more of the game. And something happened to me. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then Matt sent me a message saying something happened to him, and it was the same thing. We both got a winning can. Our very first time buying pop at Abe Store. Yep. The pop machine.
And since...
What did you attempt to buy?
Coffee.
Jet Cola.
I always buy a coffee when it's raining or snowing in the game.
That's awesome.
Because I believe there's a later thing where you can buy one for the homeless guy, and that clued me in that it's probably a warm coffee. It's one of those heated vending machines. I think I've only bought 5 drinks, and I've got 3 winning cans.
Wow.
Yeah, so far. But yeah, my very first one was a winning can as well.
I had played it a few hours by the time I picked you up, but I really, because I attempted to do a full playthrough of Shenmue 1 and 2 before this came out. I got all through 1, collected almost everything in it, and I started 2, and I was on disc 2 of game 2 of Shenmue 2, and I just ran out of time, and there was the Sons of Anarchy marathon on TV that I got too into. I don't know. But I did realize, get the stuff at Abe Store early, because your opportunities to go back there with money are limited. So I've won all 4 fourth prizes. I have both Mr. Yukawa figures. I actually have 2 of him, of the higher version.
I have 2 of the lower one where he's running.
Did you have the other one yet?
No. I did get it on my last Dreamcast playthrough, but not on this one yet.
Do you know what I noticed about that figure, though? When they put it down on when the crazy old lady puts it down, it's way bigger than the rest of the figures.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I haven't won either of the Durals yet. Durals, a lot harder to get. Gold and silver Dural are way harder to get in the first game than they are in the second one. Because the second one, you can just get them out of a vending machine.
Oh.
I know the it's still random, but...
Yeah.
My first time I went to Tomato Convenience, I got second prize on my first raffle draw, which was amazing. I did not get the Boy Scout trophy.
What's that?
For helping the
old lady.
Yeah,
right. You missed it. But that's easy to go back and get on a new playthrough.
Yeah.
And similarly, I missed the Dojo Flashback trophy because I wasn't aware that you only could do that on the first day. And I did the other two on the first day, and then I didn't want to miss the old lady, so I was like, I better leave the house now before she's gone. So then I tried to get it the next day, and I couldn't.
So at this point in time, I've picked up Matt. We go to... Well, first off, we go to Walmart because I needed to pick up... it was still before 10 a.m. when the game store opened. Needed to pick up a copy of Deadpool 2 on Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. And Matt went into... There's a McDonald's in Walmart. He got a breakfast sandwich, which was not just sausage and maple syrup. That's a story for another day. Walmart... The big Walmart where we live, we have two. We have a small one and a bigger one. Did not have Shenmue.
No copies.
No copies. It was early, but it should have... Deadpool came out that day, Deadpool 2, and that was already out. So I don't know if they didn't have any, or if it was already sold out, hopefully, or what happened, but there wasn't any Xbox or PlayStation 4s there.
We're going to have to check the one on the west side here.
I was going to before I came to get you guys today, but I got on the highway by mistake, so I needed to go to Walmart to I needed to buy a light bulb. And Tomato Convenience was closed.
Oh.
So then we went to EB Games to pick up my pre-orders. No one in line. Matt and I were the only two people there when it opened. Mm-hmm. I go in. The guy gives me my games. I had them all four of them paid for. And Matt and I are kind of poking around the store. And they had these promo cases on the wall just saying, hey, Shenmue's coming and this is the price. Mm-hmm. And I wanted one.
Because they're slightly different from the actual retail case.
Yeah, there's like promo material on the back, like just selling you on the game. And Matt's just like, ask the guy. Because I had previously asked the manager of that store and she was not having that idea whatsoever. Absolutely under no circumstances. Which is fair. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of yelled at the guy. I'm like, hey, what are your thoughts on bribes? And he kind of chuckled. He was a young fella. And he's like, what? I'm like, promo case for Shenmue? He's like, oh yeah, we're taking that off the wall today. Just take one. I'm like, okay.
He said, take one. So Andrew took two.
So then I go to a different wall and take an Xbox One version as well.
Slyly, making sure he's not watching.
Yeah. He turned around, bumped the desk, the flashlight fell off, I caught it. So then Matt and I we went home after that, and...
You went home with your 6 cases of Shenmue.
Yes. And I played it the rest of the day. So I played it till about 3:30. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, I had to go... Well, my wife was off work at 5. So I was like, well, I collect video games, so I go out and I do the rounds, as she calls it. There's a couple, like, pawn shops, used video game stores here in town. So I went to the one closest to our house, which would be Beats and Bites in the North End, and they didn't have anything that I wanted or needed. But because I was ready to bribe that guy at EB Games, I had $20 in my wallet. And I was like, you know what? I'll play a VLT. There's this dive bar by Beats and Bites. So I went in there and put $20 in a lottery machine. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I ended up cashing out at $60.
Nice.
So I won $40. Like, all right. So off to the next pawn shop. And I was there, and something immediately caught my eye, that they have a lot of video games, but not a lot of turnover there. They had Lunar, the Silver Star Saga, or Silver Star Story complete for PlayStation 1, and it only had a price tag of $45 on it, which is a phenomenal price for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, net cost of $5 because I just won $40.
Yeah.
This day is going great. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. And I'm a regular there. I go in a few times a week. The guy's like, yeah, you know what? We'll call it even at $40, no tax. I'm like, well, this is free. Wowzers.
Best day ever.
Yep. So it's getting better. So I get in the car and go to the last place I need to go to, pawn shop before I pick my wife up. The other Beats and Bites. It's a funky little place on Bayside Drive, as per the radio ad. And as I pull in, Adrian, he pulls in beside me, and I'm talking to my wife on the Bluetooth, and he's looking in the car waving, and I hold up the Lunar, and he tries to open the car door, it's locked.
So he's trying to steal your Lunar.
I'm like unlocking the car door, telling my wife that we're getting interrupted and I gotta go, and then telling him I got Lunar for $40. He's like, you bastard, that's a great price. So anyways, he's a collector too.
He's collecting Genesis games, he told me recently. And that's why he's not buying Shenmue.
Yeah, he's deep into the Genesis stuff. So we're looking through all the cases, various things, and there's a pile of Dreamcast stuff.
Small pile?
Good pile. Top-notch stuff. There's a mint copy of the original Shenmue. And if anyone that saw our collections video, I actually didn't have a copy of the regular version of Shenmue.
Inexplicably, he doesn't own the base version of this game.
I had the North American limited edition, but not the regular one. So I'm like, what are the chances that this happens?
On today of all days.
On August 21st of all days. So I go get the kid. It's in a locked case. He unlocks it. He's like, I've never heard of that. I'm like, well, it just got re-released today, so you can buy it at your local game store. Trying to sell him on it. And it had a price tag of $60 on it. And I was like, my wife's probably going to kill me, but I bought it. I couldn't. It was fate. It was fate.
Then you went back to the VLTs to try to make up that loss.
We actually did. We went to Subway on the way home, and we did stop and play them at the Vision Brew on the west side, and we broke even. Oh. We both lost, and then we both won. So that was the end of gambling for the day. It sounds like I have a gambling problem.
It does. I didn't know this about you.
Please help. Play within your limit. So yeah, I got my 4 copies of Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, and then an actual copy of the original Shenmue on the same day. And also, someone had, because it's used games, obviously, they did have a copy of Shenmue 2 for the Xbox as well. It was only $20 now, which is a really good deal, but my wife has a ton of those. So.
Yeah, every Christmas.
Every Christmas. And at that price, I can keep buying them every Christmas for her now. Or maybe she can upgrade and get an HD copy. Who knows? So yeah, that was I got Lunar for essentially free, and Shenmue, the original one, which I had owned it in the past, but it didn't have a case. I just had the discs and the books. And I gave that to someone who didn't have the game once I had the limited edition, so they could play it. Yeah, overall first impressions of the game, I'm impressed. There's a lot of nothing major technically, although I did have a corrupted save file, but on PlayStation Plus, so there was a backup of it somewhere automatically. But I wasn't loading, I was saving, which was weird, so it didn't affect anything. And I did have the game crash. I tried to close the application, and I got one of those fatal error messages or whatever.
But you were already trying to close it anyways?
I'd already saved and was closing anyways.
That's good.
I think it looks great in 1080p.
It does. You don't really appreciate it until you look at a comparison video, though. Like, I looked at the Digital Foundry comparison video. Did you watch that?
I have not watched that yet. They do excellent stuff like that, though.
It's nuts how much better it looks.
There are some little things, like when you assign a move to the R2 trigger, it actually in the menu says, do you want to assign this to L2?
Yeah.
So that needs to be updated. There's a lot of little things, some sound where the sound just doesn't happen, but we will do an actual review of this in a future episode. We don't want to get too in depth here.
I'm just looking at the comparison here on Digital Foundry's video to show Andrew. Like, it really illustrates how much they improved the graphics.
While Matt brings us up, let's talk about that dynamic theme on PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah, the free one by Modus.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks for having that be free, by the way.
Yeah. It looks fantastic. It says it's static in the description, but it's not.
It's dynamic.
It's dynamic.
Free dynamic theme.
And it is really, really cool. And the music.
Mm-hmm. So I imagine you notice that every time you go up to the top layer, the art changes.
Yep, the art changes, and it's like...
I wish it was random, though, because...
It's not?
Oh, maybe...
I haven't noticed the pattern yet to it.
Oh, really?
I haven't gone back and forth enough on it, but...
Well, I went... It seems to go like concept art of a character, 3D model of that same character. Concept art of the next character, 3D model of that same character. And I kept going up and down until I got back to Rio. So, I don't know.
Oh, mate, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
But it's, Matt's just going to play this for me here so I can see it.
So, it should go split screen in a second here. Show the difference. There it is.
Oh, wow. The aliasing.
Like, look at all the shimmering.
Yeah,
in
the shimmering on the Dreamcast.
And it's overall, it's like more sepia a little bit on the Dreamcast.
Well, I wonder how they hooked it up, though, to do the comparison as well. Because this you can adjust all the contrast on and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely is dark on the Dreamcast.
But yeah.
It kind of looks... This, I don't know if this makes sense. It looks more Shenmue 2-ish.
Yeah.
Because Shenmue 2 is set in a much bigger, brighter world. And it does make Dabuita seem brighter.
Yeah.
And again, this kind of sounds dumb saying it, but... You're seeing more of Dabuita at one time because it's 16:9. So it gives off this appearance that everything seems grander to me.
Yeah. I can see that.
It doesn't. I mean, it's the same, but...
Speaking of brighter, we should talk about the settings.
The official Shenmue 1 and 2 settings of the Shenmue AM2 podcast.
Because there's issues with the default settings, I think.
It is dark.
It's way too dark. All the blacks are crushed. So what I ended up doing was... Originally I turned the bloom effects off, but they refused to stay off.
Yep.
Because of a glitch where anytime you open your notebook or get to the next cutscene, they turn back on. Until you go back into the settings, then they turn off again. So
but you need to actually change the setting and then change it back too.
Oh, really? I didn't have to. All I had to do was go into the settings and just pick anything, and the bloom turned off.
Oh.
But I'm just leaving the bloom back on because I don't know. I kind of like. It's not as bad. Like I was expecting it to be as bad as Shenmue 2's bloom, and it's not that bad. It's just a little bit bloomy, but it really...
Have you gone to the casino yet and played a slot machine with
I was going to say, it really helps make neon signs stand out. I love neon signs, so I don't know. But anyways, I increased the contrast to 70%, and that seemed to help the crushed black thing. But
Matt sent me that, and I was like, okay, I don't know where he got the 70 from, but I'll try it, and it does look substantially better.
Yeah. Which doesn't make much sense, because usually when you increase contrast, it does both polar ends of the spectrum. It makes whites whiter and blacks blacker.
Yeah.
But
it works.
So, but the other issue is the sound settings. The vocals and the sound effects I find are way too loud by default. So my official settings are 80% for sound effects, 80% for voice, 100% for music, and that seems about right. Except for when you talk to Megumi, there's no fixing Megumi. Or not? Is it Megumi? The little girl. Yeah, she's just ear-piercingly shrill. Her mic is blown out, it just sounds like it's blown out. It's gonna pop your eardrum. The static, the crunchiness, the whenever, not just her, this is every character, but it's really bad on her. Whenever any character speaks, you can hear this where this voice clip comes in and where it goes out. Just like there's no fade in, fade out. There's no smoothing on each voice clip. And I don't remember it being that bad on the Dreamcast.
And we'll touch more on that in the actual review. Overall, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yeah. I haven't had many game-breaking bugs. In fact, the only bugs I've had were audio-related.
Yep.
Sound effects not playing. The one that makes me the most sad is Ryo's footsteps on concrete not playing. And that's like a big part of my Shenmue 1 nostalgia is on concrete and Dombuita. And I really miss it. I hope it comes back in a patch.
I think it will. Yeah. Overall, I'm impressed. Overall, I think you're impressed.
Yep.
So that's it for this episode.
No, I got more stuff to say.
Oh, you have more stuff? Okay. Again, we're not reviewing, though.
No, I'm just going to say what else I've been doing. I believe this happened last time on the Dreamcast playthrough, too. I missed the cutscene with the punks outside of Tomato Convenience. I'm afraid that now I'll never see it again because I have no context for when it is supposed to happen. And I'm just going to keep missing it because I'm going to keep playing the same. When is that supposed to happen? Within the first few days.
I think it's your first or second time walking by Tomato Convenience, isn't it?
It hasn't happened to me the last two playthroughs, and I'm sad. And the last playthrough, I also tried to... I always kept trying to find the cutscene where those two punks are harassing...
Nozomi
in the park, yeah, and I never found it. I'm worried I'm not going to find it this time either. Maybe it hinges on that first encounter happening. I don't know.
Spoiler here. Something that I didn't know you could encounter. Once you get the Phoenix Mirror, and the only reason I know this because it was a trophy, it says to both antique shops. It's the antique shop in Rushia, China.
Yeah.
But there's cutscenes about the mirror if you go to those places.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Have you ever seen them?
Must have.
The one at Rushia, China about the Big Dipper?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I was blown away.
I'm going to have to do that. So, yeah, that's as much as I'll say about playing the game right now. But mostly, almost as much as I've been playing the game, I've been on forums trying to help out newcomers to the game and putting out fires and people's concerns about this game they're playing for the first time. Overall, I'm really surprised how positive people have been on the forums. These newcomers, for the most part, I've only seen one person who straight out didn't like it. Most people have been charmed by it and they're really engrossed. A few people are like, I like it, but I'm kind of getting bored. And only one person said, like, I really don't like this. But
I will say, when he's talking about kind of getting bored, this is the most bored I've ever been playing it.
Really? Why?
Because I'm trying to do stuff with money, and it's getting me to a point where I can only go so far into a day, and then just waiting. You can save any time, but you can't go to bed until 8 p.m. Which I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but this is the most bored I've been in a long time playing it. I won't say ever, but in a very long time.
Yeah, at least it looks pretty.
Oh, it looks... yeah.
So,
and we are both still in Shenmue 1, neither of us have...
still early in Shenmue 1. I'm still on the first disc for sure.
There's only one disc.
Yeah, I know.
I actually was, in my mind, I was getting to the point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on disc 2. Oh, wait a second.
So what I mean by putting out fires in the forums is people, they come in and they're so lost with like things like interacting with the environment. There's nothing that tells you like, hey, zoom in to interact with the environment. And then once you're zoomed in, press up or down to, go through all the different drawers. People just don't know about that, and they're getting stuck. I think there's about 50 pages, or 50 posts per page in this forum, and once or twice every single page, somebody comes in, I just heard there's a time limit in this game. I hate time limits. Is this going to be a problem? Blah, 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 blah. So almost on every page, I have to be like, no, this isn't a problem. I promise you will not hit the time limit. Like, so a lot of people are freaked out by that. I've seen people find out about the harbor loop you can get stuck in, where you keep going the wrong way and missing the cutscene. They're like, "Oh, is this going to happen to me?" And I'm like, "No, it probably won't happen to you. It doesn't happen to most people." So a lot of people are really, really. They're like, "I thought they put in a modern control scheme. These controls suck." And I have to be like, "Okay, I know they're difficult. Just play it old school. It's the easiest way. Hold R to make him walk. Slight adjustments with the D-pad. That's all. That's the best way to go."
Hold R to make it?
Yeah.
Hold L. Hold
or whatever,
L.
whatever you prefer.
One thing I will say that I'm not enjoying about this is I'm playing it on the PS4. I miss the Dreamcast trigger.
Yeah.
I just find there's more...
It's more resistant to your finger a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to hold down this trigger longer before it actually registers a little bit. It just feels harder to hold down. It's more inconvenient to hold down.
And Matt's playing it on the PS4 as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I've spent almost as much time on forums talking about this game and helping people as I have actually playing it, so I'm not very far. And it's just like... This is why I hate watching streams, and I don't get watching streams. Like, if I watch somebody play a game and they don't know something and I know it, and I can't tell them about it because I'm watching their stream, or a stream that already happened especially, that just drives me insane, and I get no enjoyment out of it. I'm like, I can help you. Like, so it's driving me crazy right now, not checking that forum. Like, I was checking it all day at work, like, not working. I was just like, there's people out there who need help with Shenmue. I must help them. Like,
you're such a good Samaritan.
It's killing me that there's people out there, like, right now, while we've been recording this, that have probably asked questions that I can help them with.
Not all superheroes wear capes, people.
Anyways, yeah, now I'm done.
All right. He's all wound up now.
Yeah.
He's getting antsy.
I gotta get back to the forum.
I'm glad you're doing that, though. I've spent a lot of time on the Shenmue Dojo. I will say, when you look at how many people are actually on it at a time, instead of being like, 20 or 30, it's like 105. So I'm really impressed there. And there's a lot of new names on there. Anytime I go onto the dojo, the first thing I do, I look at the newest member and I always follow them.
Yeah, why?
I just want to follow on a bunch of people to see, especially the new people, to see what they're doing.
I did ask on the forum if there's anybody who's playing it for the first time who'd like to come on and talk about it after they complete the first game, but before they start the second. I'm hoping somebody takes me up on that. If you're new to Shenmue and you're listening to this, get in touch if you want to be on and tell us your impressions of the first game.
Shenmue AM2 podcast at gmail.com is where we can be found. Send it that way. Essentially, you just have to have Skype, and we do a voice thing. No video. You don't want to see us anyways. We mostly film this in the nude. Nah, that's a lie. We always film this in the nude. So yeah, that's our episode. We will do a review episode once we're done both games. We're going to review it as one game, right? I don't think there's any point in reviewing it as two.
Probably.
We can be, as I mentioned earlier, Shenmue AM2 podcast at gmail.com, at Shenmue AM2 pod on Twitter, at Shenmue AM2 podcast on Instagram. There's nothing there. YouTube.com/Shenmue AM2 podcast. Facebook, we have a page and a group. Just search us there. iTunes, we're there. Please subscribe to our channels, thumbs up for notifications, all that good stuff. We'd like to thank our sponsor this week, Kick Beer.
Not enough force in your legs? Drink Kick Beer.